Welcome back, socialites, and welcome to another episode of Survivor Social, the Survivor podcast where we focus on Survivor with focus on the social element of the game. As always, I'm joined by my incredible co-host, Cara. Cara, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Are you ready to cry?
I'm crying. I'm mourning the loss of my fantasy draft. This was an emotional episode, so a lot of emotions.
Absolutely. And we have an incredible guest. She was on last season with us as well. You may know her from her incredible TikTok, book talk, Instagram. Christine Riccio, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you for having me again.
I loved our chat last time, and I'm just like so excited to get to talk to you about this episode. Also, because what an incredible episode. Just like so many incredible things to just talk about. But what's new with you? How are you liking the season?
I'm loving this season. I think they have such a great cast and so many fun, I don't want to say characters, but like so many fun characters in the Survivor world they get to play. And I'm so excited to see how the rest of it pans out now. Like post this episode, everything's kind of, the dynamics are changed.
Truly changed. Before we dig into everything, make sure, as always, to like and subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube and Spotify. And as always, we are live on a couple of different platforms. We are live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok. And so if you have any questions, join the conversation. We love to chat with you guys. We've got some people in the chat. Zan says, OMG, where is Teggy and Cara? And Christine, Amanda Logan. We got some great people. Ollie says, I'm here as emotional support for Cara
Oh,
for her.
thank you.
What does Ollie mean by that?
So for my draft for the Survivor Now fantasy draft, I had Bianca, Thomas, and Justin. They went out back to back to back, and I am now left draftless. So
literally, that is like, you couldn't have written that. Like the fact that they went back to back to back, all shocking. Also, they were all pretty like shocking.
Yeah. Maybe you just knew they'd go back to back to back, but you just like put them in the wrong spot in your draft.
Yeah.
And you know, there's one person to blame, and it's Cedric.
It really is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Blame it on Cedric. We also have Adrian in the comments. My favorite booktuber on a Survivor podcast. My worlds are colliding.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. Your worlds collide here on Survivor Social, always. Let's dig into the episode, though, because there is just truly so much to talk about. I do want to start off with the top of the episode. So at the very beginning of the episode, we see Vula coming back from Tribal Council, and Thomas is still kind of Kyle is still kind of putting on a performance. He is saying, like, you know, I noticed somebody went through my bag.
Loved it.
Do you think that was necessary? Did you like it? Let me know.
Oh my God, I loved it because he was kind of, you know, that was why that he voted with Camilla, and it's just really following up with their whole story very well. I feel like he really put the little button on the whole arc of their non-friendship in a beautiful way. I'm loving the new Vula tribe. Also, I cannot look at the word Vula without thinking vulva every single time.
Yep.
It's still happening. I'm like,
that is so real. It's like, it's also honestly the only name I can remember because I'm like, I know it's not vulva. So what is it? That is so real.
Yes.
Cara, tell me about that moment. Do you think like that helped build the bridge so it wasn't like they weren't so hurt with the lie, with the facade?
Yeah, I thought it was smart that he said he realized people went through his bag. I thought that was a good, you know, play for that to kind of cover it up. I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious, like the two of them voted together, so like something was happening there, but like I think the fact that he said that he knew people went through his bag was a good bridge for that.
Absolutely.
They're eating it up.
They really are. And I will also say this now foursome is my favorite probably of the season, just because I think that we got truly this whole episode was so emotional for so many different reasons. But the first emotional moment for me, and just really truly moving moment, was when the four of them bonded over just like their own history. and just having, you know, parents who went through a lot, and that Survivor really isn't that hard compared to what their parents went through to kind of give them the life that they have now. And I think, you know, I love, you know, back in, if you don't know this, back I believe it was right around season 40, there was a group of people who really worked hard to get CBS to agree to a casting diversity initiative, and also not only in front of the screen but behind the screen. And I think that we're seeing that pay off, because we're seeing these amazing stories from people and they're able to bond so beautifully. And we would not have gotten, you know, this kind of a storyline this deep, you know, 10, 15 years ago. And I'm so thankful that Survivor has done this for us, for the viewers, for the players, just for everybody. And it was just such a moving moment. Christine, how did you feel in that moment?
I loved that. I really loved Camilla's interview. Oh my God, why am I forgetting the name of like the
confessional?
The confessionals. Her confessional afterward, where she was in tears and she was like, I don't want to vote these people out. It was so moving. And I just think that now they need a really great alliance name. They're not always going to be Vula. And California Girls was such a great alliance name. We need to follow that up with like non-California 4.
Non-California 4, or like, what was their award that we got? I think Shaheen commented on one of my videos. Yeah, the croissants, or the pastry baskets. That's the pastry basket alliance.
That's nice.
That's so good.
Rolls off the tongue.
It really does. You can hire me for any of your alliance naming needs. And hear from you guys for that. I just, you know, I really do hope that they're strong. Cara, do you think this alliance will stand the test of time? Do you think that they will be able to make the moves?
I think so, because I feel like when you bond over something like deep like that, like you're gonna feel connected to these people for the rest of the time that you're in the game with them. So I really do think they're gonna stick together and make it as far as they can together, because I don't see how you can bond over something like that and then just like forget about it come merge, you know? So I think they'll stick together, and I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah. I feel like
Oh, go ahead, Christine.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like 4-person secret alliances are the way to go. And if they stay strong, like it works out so well. You know, that's like Red 4. Oh my God, was it in 45? That had?
Oh, the Reba 4.
Yes, the Reba 4. They're so strong. And I missed that. Like in the new age, we don't get many strong 4s. And when they're loyal, it's so nice.
Yeah.
And they can play it off like, like they can play it off like they're not. So
exactly, because they're not on the same, like, I love that they're not on the same, like, didn't originate on the same tribe. And I think that's going to be very interesting for the dynamics. And I also said this, that I think that like they're also kind of the center of a lot of people who are interconnected now. So you know, David and Eva hitting it off on their tribe. David is a part of the not California Girls. He is from California, but not a part of the California Girls. He and Camilla and Kyle were working with Chrissy as a tight 4 on their original tribe. He and Eva are now close, but also Eva and Star are now possibly working together. And we also have Joe, and then with the connection with Joe, and then also we have Chrissy. Like, we just have so many people who are connected to these 4. I really think that they're going to be able to do something come merge.
Yeah. No, so many new relationships forged in this episode. It was beautiful.
Well, let's talk about Star and Eva.
The 180 on that.
Yeah. The 180. Literally, it was a 180. And what do you think that was truly like Star building a bridge? Do you think that was Star just playing the game? What do you guys think?
I think
it felt genuine. Yeah,
it felt so raw and really moving. It was like a continuation of the immunity challenge. The whole vibe was so raw.
Yeah, and the fact that she had been working on this idol for so long, and finally Eva gets it, and it's just like Star gets her vote back, but also now she no longer, unbeknownst to Star, Eva had told everybody about the Beware advantage. So she takes that target off of her back, kind of moves it over to Eva, but builds a connection in that same moment. It's just amazing.
And you could I feel like you could see Star like really putting together the pieces, because she got so upset when Eva said that you can sit out, but now she knows that like sometimes social cues don't come off the same way. Like she's realizing that she got upset and tried to get her out, maybe like for a reason that wasn't something that she should actually be so upset about. It was really nice.
It was so nice to see them come together, and yeah, I don't know. I was just so happy that that moment happened, because it also felt so real, and I feel like that's going to carry into the merge as well.
Absolutely. I think what we're seeing this season is that, alliances, and this is every season, right? But alliances do start with friendship. They do start with a crumb of, trust and can build upon that. And when it doesn't happen right away, you're like, okay, I guess they're not going to be working together, but you can still build that over time. And if you do the right things, if you make the right moves, and I'm really excited to see where Star and Eva can take this. And I really hope we see them work together, because I think that would be really, really exciting, especially with all of these other people who are a part of it. And speaking of that, same thing. We have Mary and Say now on opposite tribes, still butting heads.
Yeah. Say really digging herself deeper this episode.
I don't know if you guys follow her on social media. She's both Mary and Say. If anybody watching are not following either of them, you should follow both of them.
I have to go follow them.
They're very funny. And Say literally posted something, I think like yesterday or 2 days ago, where she said, if I'm being honest, if I had won, I would have been jumping up and down and like so excited. And I'm like, I love that realness. She's so real for that.
Yes. Yeah.
How would you react if somebody won pastries, donuts, croissants, and you didn't win, Christine?
Oh, I'd just be really sad. I don't think that I would have said anything. I would just, when I went back, I would probably been like, wish you didn't say that thing about also having more fruit, but I guess that we're just excited.
Yep.
Like what Mitch said, like, what is she doing?
It's just, I feel like it's one of those things where all of a sudden your mouth is moving and you're talking and you're like, what's going on? What's happening? And then you're like, I'm in it now. I just gotta double down.
She really just committed and like went on her monologue about it.
Absolutely. Cara, would you cry if you lost out on donuts and croissants?
I don't think I would cry, but I would definitely be upset about it.
Honestly, I probably might cry secretly.
No. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I love donuts. There was one time when I was a kid, I literally ate a dozen donuts. Not even on a dare. I just was sitting there and it was a library function. There were a bunch of donuts out and I said, I'm going to eat all of them. And I would probably have a breakdown if I
think you need to pull a Liz, like a whole Liz breakdown.
Yeah, probably.
Like if it was soda, I would cry for that. If it was soda and I didn't get it, I would cry. That would be my thing.
Okay, this is off topic, but I think this is a funny question. What is your ideal, not like survive, not like a fishing gear, not like whatever. What's the thing you're deprived of food out on Survivor? What's the one reward you would really be like, I would murder for this?
Like your Applebee's burger.
Yeah. I would go Liz if I don't get this. What would be yours?
Dude, me would probably be a burger and Caesar salad and like a milkshake and a banana.
Banana.
Do they have bananas on the island anymore? Are they all gone?
They used to give bananas as a reward. The ripe banana scandal. Cara, what would you go? What's the one thing that you'd be freaking out about?
Soda. Like if you have Coca-Cola there, that would be like, I would be so sad to not win that. That would be like that, chips, maybe fries. I would just need that and I would be revived.
You don't have any protein in there.
It doesn't matter. The soda is all I need.
No protein for you either. What's yours?
Mine is anything with ice in it. Iced water, a soda, an iced tea. Just truly, I think what I would be craving would be a cold, cold, cold drink.
It's giving the opening scene of Frozen.
Like, do you think the water in the well is warm?
Yes. It's just apparently there are bugs that like live in there. It's
all
this stuff.
Disgusting.
There are bugs?
Yes, it's just like a trash can in the ground.
A trash can?
Ew.
Literally just like a big trash can in the ground, and that's the well. And
They
it's
just drink it though, right?
It's filtered water. It's filtered water, so it's fine. But it's just
So the
like
bugs are the protein.
yeah, the bugs are the protein. It's just like I would need a cold beverage. That's what I would need. Any kind of cold beverage, and I'd be like, this is giving me life.
Wow, little did I know my lukewarm water is training me for Survivor.
Oh, Adrian says carne asada, fries, and smoothies.
Ooh.
Venom says mine would be pasta salad, which I do like a pasta salad, but I don't know.
It's good.
I don't know. And
like a sub.
Oh, that would be great.
Ooh,
They should get sponsored by Jersey Mike's.
Sandwich.
That would be so good.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I think I might lose it for a reward. I get Say. I understand her. I especially in this moment. But I mean, I'm sorry, I'm really focusing on the reward. I see her. I get it. I see her. I understand it.
No, I think we all get it. It was just funny.
The fact that Mary added in that they still have food back at their
fruit
camp,
was really the nail in the coffin for the monologue.
Yeah.
And it was just so perfect that it was the two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really was. I love this Mary and Say dynamic, and I really am excited to see them on the same beach again next week because we know the merge is coming, and I'm very curious if they're going to work together or work against each other because their relationship is just so tumultuous. Like it's just such a roller coaster. Christine, if you had to guess, would they be enemies or friends?
You know, I'm hoping frenemies. I hope we take it to final two. Like the green tribe that loses every challenge going all the way to the end. I mean, like it happens all the time.
It does. It happens all the time. It really does. Yeah. Now, you know, I'm kind of skipping a little bit here, but we did see that Cedric blindsided Say again, you know, voted for her twice, saved her. And then just didn't tell her about the plan. Do you think in this green tribe, are they gonna be able to work with Cedric, or is Say now done with Cedric?
I think Say's done with Cedric, but I feel like it was a mistake to keep Say. I feel like she's been done with him since last time.
Yeah.
Cara, what do you think?
I mean, if I was Say, I would be done with Cedric. Like, I'd be pushing for him to go. But I feel like somehow Cedric keeps having so much agency in all of these tribals and on these tribes. I just don't understand it. I mean, good for him. I saw a funny tweet where someone said something that was like, if Cedric's confessionals weren't giving like principal, he would be like the villain of the season. And I thought that was so funny.
That's accurate.
That's so accurate. Yeah, I think the Cedric thing is he seems very easy to talk to. You know, he's not somebody, he's kind of unassuming isn't the right word, but it also isn't the wrong word. Like he's very
calm.
Calm. And I think that could blindside somebody because somebody who's so calm and together, you know, maybe you're thinking, okay, he's just here along for the ride. But you know, he's a butt doctor. He's got a lot of thoughts. Butt doctor's not the right word.
Is he a colon doctor? What is the right word? Is it a gastroenterologist?
Something.
I guess it helps that Say is rubbing people the wrong way too. So it makes Cedric look way more appealing.
Yeah. So. What happened to them saying what everyone does and having the lower thirds with their name on it? Why is that never a thing anymore? I'm like, where's the lower thirds person?
They used to do that, and then all of a sudden, like in the middle of, I think it was like in the 30s, they changed it to the advantages that they had. And I go, I mean, that's helpful, but also tell me about the person.
I want to know where they're from. I want to know what character is from New Jersey this season. I have no idea.
Who is Christine rooting for?
I know.
That's what was so nice about the reward with the four of them when they were talking about their families and their parents and everything, and like seeing the pictures and everything. It was so nice to see like their families and their parents.
Yeah.
I love that.
For sure.
Absolutely. We have some great comments over here. Adrian says, if I'm Say, I'm dropping Cedric. But Gemini added a very great point, and Cedric did save Say again, though. He keeps saving Say.
His loyalty is misplaced.
It's wild. Kimberly added, Cedric is disarming. I think disarmingly, like everything. He's just, yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah, I think it's a very good word. And
he's sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's like simultaneously making the right decision and the wrong decision somehow at the same. Like I don't know how he's doing it, but it's never.
I can see that. I feel that.
It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Absolutely. And Zan said when Chrissy was checking Say, you didn't know, huh? So that was also the fact that Chrissy added that on tribal council is truly wild. And I think that like, I think that Cedric's going to be in the game a little bit longer because I think he is able, he has that connection with Mitch that we learned.
Yeah.
He has these other connections. Clearly he has a connection with Chrissy because they voted the same.
Yeah.
So maybe he is really well intertwined and it doesn't matter what Say does. Maybe he's just going to be in the game, but he is very weird in a very good way. You know what I mean?
He's causing chaos in a very subtle way.
In a very subtle way. He's not Chaos Cass. It's Chaos Cedric.
Chaos Cedric.
Like, so I guess him and Chrissy must have had some conversation about Bianca not having a vote and they made a deal to not vote Say, or did that just happen at Tribal?
I feel like he must have told them right after. I felt really sad when Bianca told him. I was like, he's going to stay with Say.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing. And I'm very excited to hear more about this from the players because I listened to Bianca's exit interview and she swears that she followed Cedric around. Ooh. And that she swears she did not see him talk to Say or to Chrissy or to anybody because she told him right before tribal council. So she is like, I don't understand how it happened because I swear I did not do that. So a couple of theories. Did they just
sign
get
language?
Yeah. Did they just get the vibe at tribal council? Maybe. The other theory that I've heard, which I think maybe has some legs, is that maybe the plan was to vote Bianca no matter what, because similar reason to voting out Thomas. The people in the original Orange Tribe, they knew that you could not walk away from the game, right? And Cedric also knew that, Justin lost his vote. He wasn't able to walk away from the game either. So either Bianca has a advantage that she's not telling people about, and that's not trustworthy, or she doesn't have a vote and she's not telling us, and that's not trustworthy. So that's also a theory. I don't know if I subscribe to that theory 100%, but they're the only two things that make sense, but they still don't totally make sense. So I really want to hear from Cedric and Chrissy
what it was.
They figure that out.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Chrissy voted Bianca just in case of an advantage or an idol coming into play, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they had a signal after they spoke and he looked at Chrissy and he was like, behind me.
I just don't see how voting out Bianca is the smarter move for either of the two pairs.
No, I feel like Cedric's moves are very confusing.
Yeah.
They're working.
But also, how is it a bad move? I'm going to push back. I'm going to be Emily Flippin. How am I? I mean, other than keeping Say, right?
I think it's just the chaos of Say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, at the end, like Bianca's not tight with anybody. You're not going to be burning a bridge in the sense that, her number one was already voted out. So there's no jury. So blindsiding Bianca, it's not like you're going to be putting a burnt person on the jury. The only negative is the fact that he didn't tell Say. And I think if he goes back to camp and he's like, I literally just found out about this. I don't know what Chrissy was doing, or maybe it explains it. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to salvage the relationship. I doubt it. But I think that he thinks that there's maybe more to the relationship with him and Say, because Say does call him dad.
Yeah. Every time that happens, it feels like emotional manipulation to me.
It's 100%.
Just like, oof.
100%. And you know what? Great gameplay, because I think that saved her twice.
I know, it's working. I'm like, Cedric, please.
So I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I think that they're in this situation. I think there are two not great options. And I think he just went with one of the two not great options. Like, I think that neither option is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if they voted out Say, well, I feel like Say is going to cut Cedric the first chance she gets.
Yes.
So probably not. So if Cedric wants to live maybe longer, getting Say out would probably be better. But also, I feel like Cedric has more people and Say doesn't have people. So he'll probably go further
especially
than her.
now without Bianca.
Yeah. And I think if he cut Say here and voted, if they all voted Say out, he just gains more agency with Mitch and Chrissy.
Yeah.
Which would have been good. But I don't know. I guess Chrissy was in on it, so it wasn't going to happen anyway.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is very interesting, and I'm very excited to see where Cedric and Say's relationship, continues on after this. I was so sad for Bianca because that blind side was hard to watch.
Yeah.
You could tell she was really upset. I mean, like, I was not doing well watching her leave. But iconic pre-jury. I mean, pre-merge, iconic pre-merge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Yeah,
great.
I mean, like, what Dream Blunt rotation? Like they are like, I just every single one of them icons in their own right. But let's talk about the thing that we haven't talked about so far, and it's the most obvious thing, the big moment that has been talked about on CNN. On they aired it again on CBS. Just the big thing of this episode, which was Eva and Joe. Now, for those of you who don't know what happened, I'm just kidding. Everyone knows.
Like, who's here that doesn't know?
Exactly. But I mean, in that moment, right, where Eva is getting very frustrated, and not only is she hearing, she plays team sports, right? So she's used to having people cheering her on, having all that, behind her, but also having Jeff come over and also kind of saying all that. You can see her for the frustration in her face. How did it feel for both of you watching that back? Like, were you feeling that frustration through the TV screen? Christine, I'll start with you.
I was crying, like, as soon as I started seeing her getting frustrated, because, like, we knew what was happening, but that everyone else doesn't know, and that Joe knows, and that Jeff knows, and I was just so, like, scared for her in that moment, and I every time they panned to Joe, I was like, okay, he's gonna come over. He's gonna come. But I was emotional. It was like on a whole emotional week. I had already posted on Instagram, like, hysterically crying about the Hunger Games book, and I was like, I cannot post about this episode. I'm just looking like this, like, hysterical woman on social media.
It's been an emotional couple of weeks.
Yep.
Cara, what about you? What was that feeling for you?
Yeah, no, I was tearing up when it was happening. Like, I feel in that moment, like, you're the last person that has to get the ball in. There's so much pressure on you. And on top of that, you're frustrated. Like, I can't even imagine how that felt. But like, having Joe there, like, rooting for her, and even the other people on her tribe, it was so, and Jeff, like, that was so nice to see.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And so I've had some interesting comments on some of my videos asking, like, do you think that Jeff stepped out of line, basically, and interfered with the game, basically saying, hey, Joe, go, and you can go and comfort Eva. And I disagree with that assessment, because one of the game things in American Survivor is you can't talk to the other tribes after an immunity challenge. Like, you have to be prompted, I believe, for, to be able to talk and for all the mat chat. So Joe, it was not allowed to go over to Eva and celebrate with her. And
did this happen after Heroes versus Villains in the trade with the immunity, with the letter?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay.
I think it's a more recent thing.
Okay.
Because I do think that he needed the prompting, because because I think I heard Homer talk about it, it had to be to give the okay from Jeff. And I wonder why that is, because I do think that I think maybe just to control information, like, like, hey, you're on this tribe, you're with these people, don't go talk to your old people, maybe. I don't know. But I think that was not, quote unquote production interference, and I think it was needed.
Yeah, it was a human moment, and that's what makes the show so great.
Yeah,
like you said.
Exactly.
And like, if you're going to be targeted for something like that, then like, I don't know. I feel like that's a silly reason to go after someone for having a human moment with another human for that. So
yeah. Absolutely. And I think that like, in some of these interviews, Eva also talked about how she knew at some point she was going to have to say something, tell everybody, but she was not planning to say something right there and then. But, she felt like that was the time. And I mean, it was truly one of the greatest moments in Survivor history. Just seeing all of the support, seeing all of the love, and it just reminds you that Survivor is a game, but it's a game about people. And you don't know a person's full story. We saw that at the beginning with the tribe at Vula. You don't know what people have gone through to get to this point, and you don't know everyone's story. And I think it's a great reminder for all people. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life 100%. Just, I mean, truly amazing. And them re-airing it on Saturday was unprecedented as well.
Yeah. Jeff crying was just, you never see him crack when his voice really cracked. I was already hysterical. I was like, oh, Jeff.
I'm literally tearing up. And like, truly,
it was such, and like, I'm like on Facebook, I'm seeing people who like I've never seen talk about Survivor before share that moment and like share like experiences like that relate to it, and it's just like amazing to see something like this and connect so many people.
Yeah, I mean, representation is so important, and I think people who kind of push it off to the side is I mean, it's a game, yes, but it's a game that is going out to millions and millions of people, and I think what happens on said game is important, and I think it impacts people. I even saw somebody, I don't know if it was a tweet or somewhere else, where somebody basically said, I saw my kid has been, going to therapists and things like that, and we just didn't know what was, we didn't know how to help him. And, seeing this episode made me think that maybe he has autism. And I made an appointment, to maybe get him diagnosed, 6-year-old kid. So, it's like, there are very real things that are coming from this episode. And I just think, it's amazing. And I'm very, very happy that Eva was willing to be vulnerable and take the risk to go on the show where she knew it was going to be very difficult for her and put her in situations that she was not going to be, comfortable, and know that this was also going to go out to millions of people. Not everyone would do that. And I think that she, really has done so much. And Joe also, have done so much for so many people.
Yeah. And that they like let her have all of the airtime to tell her story was really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we have some comments here. Adrian said, to add on to that, in one of the photos from that moment, you can see Joe's arm tattoo with his sister's name on it, and on his wrist wearing a purple band saying abuse is not love. I mean, just also, and I think somebody said that in one of, where is that? Adrian also said in a recent interview, Joe said about the moment with Mike Bloom, he said he felt his sister's presence through Eva and felt that he needed to do that. And if you guys don't know, Joe's sister was killed because of domestic violence. And she is the reason why he applied for Survivor, because she for many years said, I really think that you'd be great on Survivor. And she was the big Survivor fan. And so finally he did this kind of to honor her memory. And you can just kind of see the gentle, kind heart that, he is, the kind person, and playing in honor of her sister and all that stuff. It just truly, oh God, I just being able to like learn about people that we would never have known about. And it is just truly a beautiful oh, God.
Yeah.
It's amazing that the two of them are on the same season together.
Yeah.
Also, like it was just meant to be for both of them.
Yeah.
To be cast together.
And Gemini added, and also Joe does call Eva sis.
Yeah.
I like that it's like a brother-sister relationship and not like a father-daughter type relationship. I think that, I don't know, something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got hints of it since he's always like talking about his daughter. When he talks about what he would want for his daughter on TV, I always get choked up.
Oh my gosh. And I think that like, you know, I've actually been saying for the last couple of episodes that I really felt like Joe was winning this season. I think that there was just like, there was something about the editing that he was getting that I just was getting winner from him. He wasn't my preseason winner pick. My preseason winner pick is Shaheen, but now I'm in the space of like, is he winning, or were they just editing him to kind of, and I don't mean
storyline.
for the storyline, but I don't really, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, it's just a beautiful moment no matter what, but I still kind of feel like I could see Joe winning. And I think that would be, what a great
winner. I
that'd
could see him going really far.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm worried. Like, I feel like either they're going to be targeted or they're going to leave them alone. There's not going to be like a center ground.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, you know, they clearly know that they're a strong two, but just because, just because they are bonded in this way does not mean that they're always going to vote together. I do think that they probably are not going to want to blindside each other, even though there are theories that because Jeff said, and they left it in the edit, you know, you could blindside each other, that they might blindside each other.
Oh, I thought they were doing that to try to like lower their threat level.
Maybe.
I was like, Jeff's trying to make this less intense.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would be great. But I really don't see that they are always on the same page game-wise. Do you guys agree with that?
I feel like Eva will almost, if they're still in an alliance, which I think they will be, will go with Joe.
So,
do you? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think for a long time, Joe was her main connection because he held the knowledge that she is autistic. And I think now that everybody knows, I think that she might be able to build stronger bonds with other people because she said, you know, it's not something I'm ashamed of. I don't try to hide this. This is not something, this is just a part of me. And that makes me feel like this is something that she, you know, tells people, brings it up in conversations, things like that. And I think having to hide any part of yourself on Survivor is difficult, to hide your job, to hide anything. And I think now that maybe she was able to tell everybody, and I see it in her relationship with Star. Like, I think that they could have a stronger relationship, and she's now opened to not just being tethered to Joe because she doesn't have to hide a part of herself that I do think that she, you know, is pretty open about normally.
I'm just getting ride or die. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I do hope that's the case, that she can make new relationships and strong relationships with other people. But I agree with Christine, where I think she's just going to go right back to Joe and kind of do what maybe Joe wants.
Yeah, I feel like she'll maybe like kind of explore new relationships, but if Joe's there, I can't see her not voting with him.
Yeah, I could see Joe doing his own thing.
Yeah,
but I feel like Eva would stick with him.
Interesting. And I mean, people agree with you. People agree, saying you nailed it, Christine. Like I could totally see that. But I feel like, you know, so Eva also got into Survivor because she played a Survivor drinking game in college, and like and so I feel like when she's there, she is a competitor, she's a gamer, and I do think that and I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to be a contrarian, like, you know, very, very quick.
I hope you're right.
but I don't know. And I don't think they're going to blindside each other. I think that it might be like, hey, you know, this is going to happen right before tribal council kind of a thing, so that they're not, you know, burning a bridge. But
yeah,
I could see something where, you know, Eva's like, okay, we got to do this. you know?
I just love an OG too. Like I love like a day one
too.
relationship that goes to the end, and they both feel like such loyal people to me. So I'm shipping it to the end, shipping their bond.
Yeah. Hazel Soulful says, can y'all imagine if the jury had to select from Joe, David, or Eva? Talk about touching stories. That would be a very difficult final three, I feel like.
That would be a tough one.
I give it to Eva.
I mean, I feel like of those three, you would think Eva. I feel like people would maybe vote for Joe. I mean,
I would give it to Joe or Eva. It depends how the game is played the second half.
Yeah.
But I feel like right now I wouldn't give it to David.
No, I feel like David would be the third, and then be like Joe, Eva, David.
I've been saying I am getting 0 vote finalists from David.
Yeah.
I've been saying that. That's my theory. But yeah, I feel like here's the thing. Also preseason, a couple of opinions were that Charlie was robbed on a season. Now I disagree. I'm a Kenzie stan. I love her, and but I do think that maybe this season like prioritizes like quote unquote the strategic game over the quote unquote social game. Now, granted, they haven't really they didn't play Survivor when they were putting those opinions out. And I think playing Survivor and theorizing about Survivor are two very different things. But maybe they get to the end in those three, it's just truly whoever played the best quote unquote strategic game, because they did say, they put a lot of favor on the strategy portion, at least before the season started. So that could be very interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Hold on. There's a funny comment. Joe and David could only get my vote through a flex contest. Bring back crazy, like, final tribal council questions. Bring back crazy, like, choose a number between 1 through 10.
Oh, God. That was so stressful.
Bring that back. That would be so funny. I would die for that. I really think that this episode of Survivor is going to go down as one of the best episodes.
Yeah, one of the most iconic. Yeah, socially, in so many different ways.
So many different ways. We got a crazy. It's like not only I told my parents to watch this on the rewatch last night when it was airing, and I said, "Don't watch the end. You're not going to like it." My mom thinks Survivor's mean. And I was like, you're not going to like this Blindside. Just turn it off. She's very upset I said, the person who gets voted out is very upset. You're not going to like it. I didn't like it either, but I think that we got a crazy Blindside. We had, touching moments, great, challenge moments. Just truly, I think it hits all of the points.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Very good, well-rounded episode.
Yeah. Great edit.
An idol too. Also, an idol was technically found. A vote was restored.
Oh yeah, An idol was given to someone else. Like,
I think it's easier to say what didn't happen this episode than what did.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else? Isn't it crazy how Bianca just got voted out without ever even getting to cast a vote? Like,
shit.
Yeah, very sad of her.
So sad. Really, I hate the
cool.
losing votes. It stresses me out so much for them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I hate that this lost vote was like it was lost on chance. I do think it adds a very interesting thing into the game, especially pre-merge. I don't necessarily like it, but I do think that it's like interesting seeing how people navigate it. Justin didn't tell, got voted out. Bianca did tell, got voted out. Like, it's just interesting how that impacts the game with such small tribes. And, people who don't really know each other that well. I think it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, the loss of agency is just devastating. Like the fact that you would have no say and you're on the bottom. Oof.
And any other thing, I think that she would have been a very important person in that tribe because it's 2-2-1 in a normal situation. She definitely would have been like in a very good spot on her tribe. And I think that's very sad that she wasn't able to use that to her fullest, ability.
Yeah. She needed the advantage Rachel got on last season where she could just leave tribal council.
Yeah. I love that so much.
But also the fact that that journey, the one I'm pretty sure it was the same one that Justin and Bianca went on, is the same reason they both went home.
And also, that same journey is the reason why Kyle and Camilla are still in the game. That same journey gave Camilla, well, I guess not, that wasn't, I guess it was the idol. I take it back. It wasn't the extra vote. It was the idol. But, you know.
It could have been bad if she lost her vote. Yeah.
So, you know, you have it's journeys are very interesting. Now, speaking of the no vote, what do you think obviously it didn't go well for Bianca. Do you think it was better if she would have just kept it to herself?
Yes. I think do not tell Cedric.
Yeah.
That was such a mistake.
And at that point, she went all day without saying anything. Why the
Yeah.
last second? Like, just you have to stick with it at that point.
Yeah.
I actually, so on her exit interview, the reason why she told Cedric was because, sorry, my cat was moving something. I thought she was going to break something. What I'm keeping you on your toes. Was because Cedric actually told Bianca that the reason why Justin was voted out was because he didn't tell Cedric about his lost vote.
Oh my God.
So Bianca heard that and was like, oh my God, wait, the reason why Justin got voted out was because he didn't tell.
Except it was just manipulating it.
But I still feel like at that point you stick with it and see what happens. Because if it did tie, you know.
Yeah. That was a good plan.
It was.
Yeah, if it does tie, she doesn't get voted for. And I do think that either, you know, Cedric flips and votes for Say, but also Chrissy and Mitch were never that close. So I could also see Mitch flipping on Chrissy. So I think that, you know, I don't know, but it's a very interesting, that whole dynamic is so interesting. And also, I'm now putting this together just this moment, and I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think the reason why Cedric told Bianca that the reason why Justin was voted out was because he didn't share the information, was because he had an idea that Bianca maybe either had an advantage or didn't have a vote, and he was just trying to get the information out of her?
I don't know.
Because again, when did Chrissy and Cedric get together to vote Bianca? So if he was trying to get that information out of her, maybe that's why he dropped that little tidbit of knowledge.
Maybe, unless she just asked why he was voted out because they were working together. I don't know.
I mean, the only other person that would really know what happens on journeys is Mitch, and we didn't see them talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very mysterious. His vote out is very mysterious, and I'm not excited for, you know, Chrissy or Cedric to be voted out, but I am excited to hear what happened from them. Because it's crazy.
Do you think there could have been like some whispering at Tribal that just got cut?
I can't imagine editors would cut that though. They love when they whisper.
They love the whispers, the whisper huddles.
It does kind of feel like a vote was thrown in case an advantage was played, and then Cedric just so happened to vote her out.
See, I think the vote was thrown on Say in case an advantage was played. I think the vote was I think Mitch was in on it.
Oh,
yeah, I got the impression that they were all in on it, but I was just like, oh, Cedric told them right after.
Well, wait, maybe like on the walk there, because they mentioned like
you can't talk on a walk.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Maybe I
don't know.
I'm just picturing him coming out of the jungle with her right behind him and him just like mouthing it. Look at them.
Yeah, because I think you're not allowed to talk on a walk or on a boat because they're not filming, and they would miss strategizing.
Vital.
So yeah, when you see them leave for tribal council, I think when they pick up their torch, they're not allowed to talk anymore. And then the next time they're allowed to talk is when they get to tribal council. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's just to control the flow of information.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just Bianca the whole time.
I don't know. Here's the thing.
We don't know.
We will there's no good evidence. There is no good evidence for anything. It doesn't make any sense, but it's amazing. And I'm sad about Bianca, but it's amazing.
I hope they show us in the next episode.
Me too.
behind the
flashback or
scenes
something.
flashback.
Yeah.
Me too. I will say, this is my advice to anybody who's playing season 49 or on. My advice to them is don't look like me. Don't ever be compared to me, because people who at any point in time, if somebody says, oh my God, you really look like this player, they get voted out very early.
Oh, no.
My advice, don't look like Tegwyth. And I think you'll do well in Survivor. That's my advice.
Who were the other players?
Maddie Pamela. I
Okay.
literally got confused. Somebody thought I was Maddie Pamela at an event, and she was talking to me, and I thought she had recognized me from TikTok.
Oh no!
I'm like halfway through the conversation, I realized no. She thinks I'm Maddie Pamela. It's too late. It was too late.
You had to commit to it.
And she was like, "Can I get a selfie?" And I'm like, "You're gonna look at this and go, who is that lady that is not Maddie Pamela?"
Oh my God. That happened to me once. It was so awkward. About Kristen Ritter. And they were like, I loved you in Breaking Bad. I thought they knew my YouTube. I was like, oh my God. And they waited online. It was like a meet and greet at like a conference. I was like, I just said, oh, thank you. I don't want to disappoint them.
No, I just was like, okay, cool. The other person was Sarah Wilson. Is it Sarah? Is that who it was? Sarah, no, sorry. It was Chelsea from season 39.
Oh.
Chelsea, so she was the third one voted out. And I literally would see her on the screen, and I would literally go, is that me? No, it's Chelsea.
Don't look like Tegwyth.
Everyone write that down. Don't look
Key
like
to doing well on Survivor.
Keys number 1. Yeah, but truly, I mean, I think this episode was such who said it? It was a roller coaster of emotions, happy, sad, giddy, mad, everything. I think I felt every single emotion from inside out on while I was watching this.
Totally.
They were working overtime in my brain.
For sure.
And it was just amazing. Before we go to commercial, before we get to some questions that were sent in, Christine, did you have anything else that Christine and Cara, did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch upon?
Highlight moment when Jeff was like, Cedric, an abysmal failure.
That was so funny.
That was so funny.
Like, that was so good because it was giving like classic sassy Jeff compilation that you would watch.
Yeah.
And he was like, thank you, Jeff.
It was
incredible. I did forget did you guys catch the ball reference?
Yes.
Okay, I think I missed it because I saw it online afterward and I was like, wait, what are they talking about?
It was truly, if there's one thing that Jeff Probst loves, it is a ball joke, because he what did he say? He was like, and in this challenge, you gotta drop your balls, and just like in life, that means you're moving on to the next stage.
Oh my God.
So out of pocket.
Jeff is having great moments this season. The fall, the crying, a ball joke, abysmal failure.
Yeah, he is knocking it out of the park. He is knocking it out of the park.
Killing it.
I can't believe I forgot about the ball joke. I literally, Ryan and I were watching it, and Ryan was in the kitchen, and I didn't catch it. I heard him say, drop your balls. Right? I thought that was funny. And then Ryan goes, what did he just say? And so we rewound it, and I was like, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. That is incredible.
So good.
Cara, was there anything else that we didn't get to talk about?
I don't think so. I mean, but I was gonna bring this up later. So
I don't want to talk about that. Talk about that. Actually, I don't want to talk about that. That's actually gross.
Yeah. When he was like, I'm gonna drink that whole thing, I was like, isn't that the thing when you drink that much milk, you throw it up? Like,
no, okay. For those of you who don't know, the comment says David and Milk. Like, I was dead with how they edited that. I literally thought that was so gross. Also because his like dirty fingernails were like over the spout when he was pouring his milk.
Ew.
Oh yeah.
I am not a milk person. If there's one thing about me, it's I'm not a milk person. I don't like milk.
Wow, you have milk with an accent.
I know. That's how much I don't like it. I say it wrong. That is how much I don't like it.
I don't care to pronounce it correct.
I don't even give it the credit. I don't even pronounce it right. I am not a milk person, and I just did not enjoy that whole segment. Are either of you? Do you guys like milk? Are you milk drinkers?
I like oat milk, but I would drink it then because I would want the calories. So I don't mind it.
Like I would have to be in the mood for it, but like
with some dessert, with the
Yeah.
pastries, I could handle it.
chocolate milk.
Chocolate and milk
Would be
goes really
better.
well. Those chocolate croissants looked really good.
Oh yeah, chocolate
Mhm.
croissants great. Like a dabble of milk is fine in a hot beverage. Drinking it out of a glass is diabolical. It's diabolical.
My parents made me do that. I mean, got milk was huge.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to drink it.
Oh, lactose
I
intolerant?
also was like,
No, I'm not even lactose intolerant. I just wasn't allowed to.
I drank a lot of milk as a kid too, so but like now I haven't like had a glass of milk.
It's a really long time.
I saw somebody at work the other day order milk with a steak.
Ooh.
And they had a glass of milk and a steak, and I went, I need to leave.
Very 1950s of them.
I need to leave the world. Like that was absolutely not. Adrian, I don't think you realized what you did when you commented that. Reminded me of milk.
I was surprised there was, maybe this was just cut because there was none, but like no one looked for an advantage at the
True.
where good things happen.
Also, could Bianca have found an idol? Right? Could someone have found that?
Yeah.
Why didn't she go looking?
Maybe she did, and it was just cut because nothing happened.
She didn't find it.
That's true.
But also after she told Cedric, she said she was watching Cedric like a hawk. So maybe like when she told Cedric, she was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm made my bed. I'm going to lie in it. I'm going to stare at Cedric and not do anything else. So I don't know. Well, we've got some great questions that we're going to get to. So stick around and we'll see you right after this commercial.
Think you're the most knowledgeable Survivor superfan? Well, you can put that to the test with our Fantasy Survivor game. Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. We provide fantasy football style games for your favorite shows like Survivor and many more. We also have bracket style elimination challenges. Set your picks once for the whole season to see how your prediction skills fared. And don't forget to check out the season extras like contestant info, where you can see all the bios of each contestant, and our scoring recaps that are published each episode. Download the Bracketology mobile app or play on your computer at fantasy.bracketology.tv. It's entirely free to play, and you can win some awesome prizes. Good luck.
All right, it's time for Survivor Social Hour. We got some questions that were sent in. Plus, I've got some great questions from previously in the live. I do want to start with this question that was sent in a little bit earlier. And Christine, I'll start with you. Who, capital WH, I don't know why I did that, do you predict as final 6 of the season? It's a very hard question, but
yes,
I think it's a good one.
I am gonna go Vulva 4.
Yep.
And maybe I want to say maybe Say and Mary.
Wouldn't that be iconic?
That's just my dream final. I mean, I would love to have Joe and Eva in there too. I just think that they have less of a chance of getting there because they're so public now.
Yeah, they are. Cara, what do you think? Do you have a final 6 that you have in your mind?
Okay. I'm looking at the...
Oh my God, Joe is in the Vulva 4. So sorry.
Oh, I thought you just said Joe and Eva together.
Yeah, but I would like them together too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be David, Joe. I think I agree the 4. Camilla, Kyle, Mitch, Shaheen.
Ooh.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's 6.
That's 6. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I think Shaheen is going to be like a fallen angel. I think he's going to go out 6 or 5. I think I know I don't want that. He's my winner pick. I want him to win, but my winner picks usually go out right around then. And then I do think that Camilla will be there. I don't think Kyle will. I think Kyle will be kind of like second or third in the jury. Again, don't want that. Love Kyle, but that's just what I think. I think Joe. I think David. I think that's 5. I think, and I think Chrissy.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right.
I think that's 6. I think Chrissy has made some inroads, with some other alliances, and I think that she is, kind of under the radar enough to get away with kind of going to the end. I'm not saying she's not playing a good game. I just think that I think that she could do it, but then I think that she'll be voted out. I don't think she'll make it. I think, like I said, I think David's going to be 0 vote finalist, and I think she could lose fire or something. She's good at putting out fires. I don't think she can. I don't know if she's good at building them. So, what if? Oh my God!
Oh.
What if Chrissy and Joe go and fire against each other? The 2 fire captains.
Oh my God.
Lieutenant
Yeah.
Fahrenheit 451. But
I was just gonna say that's definitely gonna be another relationship.
What if Joe and Eva do fire? It would be like the police alliance. Wait, what are their names? I can't remember the alliance name.
Do you think Joe would throw it? Do you think Joe would throw
No.
anything for Eva?
No. That she would hate that.
She would hate that. I think
That's true.
I think that they have a good enough relationship that I think if he sees her as a sister and not as a daughter, I think that sister and brothers, they go after it. And I think that
they go hard.
That would be emotional. I would be an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be a beautiful arc.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Have we seen either of them make fire yet?
Yes, Joe did the big bonfire.
Oh, that's right.
Oh shit. But I bet she practiced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know who else practiced? Bianca.
So sad. Okay, we have this. We have this question from earlier in the chat. Christine, do you think Star should have figured out the puzzle out alone? Lack of effort?
I feel like she tried and could not. And I'm really glad that she gave it to Eva because she actually cracked it and didn't just take it back after that. Because I think she accepted that she didn't put as much effort in as Eva. So I feel like it's okay. What do you guys feel?
Yeah. I also I don't think Star knows that Eva went around and told everyone about it. So I think it unintentionally was such a good thing for Star to do.
Yep.
But it is so funny how it took Star so long to even get someone to figure it out.
Yeah.
Not even her figuring it out. Someone else took days.
Yeah. Apparently on her original tribe, Thomas and Shaheen figured it out, or at least knew some answers to figure it out and was giving her wrong information. But apparently back on that original tribe, she was doing this deal with people, but she just didn't do it with Eva. Like, if you figure it out, I'll give it to you. She just didn't do it with Eva.
To them. Okay.
Because she wasn't working with Eva. And so then she told everybody on her tribe that, whoever figures it out can keep the idol, which is also why when you see Eva jumping up and down, she didn't hand it over to Star originally, because Star was telling people, hey, if you figure it out, it's yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me say, hey, I think it's a very interesting way to use the beware advantage, because your Star's neck was on the line. Doesn't matter if somebody else figured it out, whatever. It's still Star's idol. If you hand it over to somebody to hold, you can't steal an idol like that. That's not, if you can't do that. It's against the rules. So Star's vote was gone. And I think that this is a very interesting way to use the beware advantage, because, hey, if you don't want that target of having the idol, maybe she could figure it out. The conspiracy theory time. Woo. Star could figure it out, and she just didn't want the idol, and she was using this as a way to build a bridge with somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Or
that episode where
but it could be cool.
Or she could have just opened it, pretend she didn't open it, and then just not tell anyone.
I think once you open it,
close up the cryptex
back up again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know though. I don't know.
I have one. I can close it and open it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That you can have. I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like that episode where we were waiting for the editors made it really frustrating. I was like, there's animals everywhere. I've been questioning it from the beginning. Why is she not figuring this out immediately?
Literally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that whole saga is so interesting. And somebody just commented, hold on, who was it? It was Venom saying Star recovered her vote just in time for the merge.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's too perfect. It seems planned.
That would be so cool if it was like if that was planned.
Maybe planned just to tell, like when she thought it was going to be merged, she would be like, "Okay, everybody, I've got this. Whoever, if you can crack it." And I mean, she got the whole tribe working on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. Like, what would have happened if she went into merge and didn't figure it out, and they leave that beach? Does she just get her vote back, or like what happens?
I think if she doesn't figure it out, she doesn't get a vote. And wait,
does she still have the Cryptex though? Can she figure it out at any time? Oh wait, no, she wouldn't have the
If
letters.
they're on a different beach.
Yeah.
But
every beach did have the same letters. They were just different words.
But the like icons were different. They were painted different. So one of them had colors. One of them had to do with the shape. One of them was covered in rope. So I don't know if it would actually come up with a letter. So I really don't know, but I do think that if she had been swapped, she would have just not had a vote until merge. That's why I think when on the thing it says you lose your vote like until merge or whatever, and I think that that's for the case if you don't you don't have a way to figure it out.
Okay.
What do you think? This is kind of like not even on topic of what we were talking about, but so we know that they're merging now, but what would happen if they like swapped back to their original tribes before merge for like a round?
Oh my God. It sounds like so much fun. I was so excited about this swap. I was like, oh my God, it's been so long. I missed this chaos.
I'm all for the swap, but I feel like that would be interesting to see them like swap back and what the dynamics
talk and see if they would be loyal to each other.
I think it'd be super interesting. I just think that the challenge wouldn't be super interesting with this breakdown of people just because the green would just be decimated again.
Yeah.
And I think I think in a different season, I think it'd be really interesting.
If it was more even, for sure. Not with the
I think that's a really interesting idea. Like just you're it's a temporary swap. You don't know that when you're playing, and then you go, I think that'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this is I think we just talked about it. This was sent in earlier today. Mad Rose Beauty says, what did we think of Star giving away her idol, Pure Heart, some gameplay, a little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think both, but like more Pure Heart.
Yeah, it felt very pure in the moment.
I think most of Survivor is a little bit of both always.
Yep.
Everything you do on Survivor, you're
kind of self-aware.
Yeah. Kenzie comforting Ben, that is Kenzie to the core, but also not bad for her game. That's why this show is so interesting, because it's just like kind of everything you do impacts your game because you're impacting other people. So I don't know. Okay, we have this question from TikTok. S said, thoughts on Thomas thinking to lose the notes? Kind of happened a couple of episodes ago, but still interesting. I would have loved to see that. That would have been so diabolical. I would have been sad for Star, but
I remember this. He
suggested to Shaheen to because Shaheen
lose the notes to like figure out oh my God, that was so diabolical. That was like giving Russell.
Loved it. I don't think they should have like completely gotten rid of it, but like love the idea of that.
Love the energy.
That was a fun,
If I heard someone say that next to me, though, I'd be like, "Oh fuck!" Like, I don't know what. I'm nervous about you.
Yeah,
I mean, you were
like, that's basically what Shaheen said. He's like, that's his number one. He's like, I guess he's willing to cut anybody.
Like, that's scary.
Yeah, but great energy. Bring that energy.
Yeah.
Great for TV.
Yeah, great. Exactly. 100%.
Villain energy.
100%.
Yeah.
And
that's confessional energy, though. Just keep it in the confessional.
I think that we're starting to build a cast for heroes versus villains, and I'm very excited about it. I think we're getting
a new one.
I think that we're starting to get people who I would consider a more villainous, fun edit.
Do you think 50 will be another heroes villains?
Ooh.
That would be amazing, because that's the best season of all time.
It is the best season of all time. I don't think we have it yet. I think we're in the midst of building it. But I definitely think, earlier in the chat, I don't know if you guys saw this, I was going to point it out, but then we got talking about Randy posted that Redmond just announced that Sean Rector is out of the running for season 50.
Wait,
this is very
Sean.
sad.
Oh,
So
Sean from Marquesas.
From Marquesa, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Which is devastating. That's devastating news.
I'm
devastated because that's the one person that I wanted on 50, like truly. And he just posted a picture with Boston Rob, and so I was thinking that he was getting like some inside information on like what to do.
The one person I want to see is Angelina, and I want a jacket. I just want.
I think Angelina should bedazzle a jacket.
Yes.
That says,
can I have your jacket? Shit, that joke needs to live on.
That I think about this often. My friend, her first episode of Survivor that she has ever watched was that episode. Was the jacket episode, was Jacket Gate. And he still watches Survivor to this day. Her name is Ruthie. And I just think, what a lucky woman.
Great episode.
Yeah.
Because what an incredible episode. You don't know a lick about this show, and all of a sudden, Natalie.
The repetitiveness.
Perfection. It's so good. We have Hazel says, who will be the first boot when the major merge happens? Does Say last long?
I mean, at that point, I don't know. She's like, once we get to the merge, it's almost like unlikableness is a plus. And they're like, well, why don't we just keep her around?
Maybe for the next episode, I'm pretty sure we hear Mary saying like she's so good at like gaslighting you, or like she says something along those lines, assuming she's talking about Say. So I think
interesting.
I think, Christine, I think you're right. I think that at this point you kind of want somebody who causes chaos. And you, because that's just like, you don't want to get out the quote unquote obvious person. And I think, try not to read into the edit too much. That's not what this podcast is fully about, but I don't think that they would edit her this big if she's the mergatory boot. I think, obviously she's giving us a lot of content, but I think that her edit would be slightly different if she was the mergatory boot. I think mergatory, is somebody who is getting kind of a more low key edit. And I feel like Charity is getting kind of a low key edit. I feel like Chrissy is getting kind of a low key edit.
What if they do like David because he's strong and likable and has a good story?
Don't put that out there.
I feel like all these big men will not make it to the end.
Maybe like Shaheen.
I think he can lay low for a little bit, but
yeah, I don't know. I think that he's now a part of that 4 group.
Yeah.
Plus, I think he and Star are pretty close. So I think he's pretty insulated right now. I don't know. I really think, like, if you think about like the merge.
What if they get Cedric?
Oh, that would be interesting.
No.
That would be interesting. I could see Cedric. I think like if the mergatory passed, it's like Lydia Meredith got voted out, was the mergatory boot. Sydney was the mergatory boot. So I feel like it's people who have gotten like more minimal edits and not like these crazy over edited characters. I don't love the word characters, but I don't know. I don't know.
I could see it being Charity. Like pretty much everyone's kind of saying
easy
that.
Vote, though. Which, like, usually we don't get at merge.
I think she seems like the easy vote because I think I'm blaming it on the edit. I think she's saying because I think that she is, seems to be working with people. She's not working well with David, but she is really close with Mitch. Mitch is really close with some other people. I feel like Mitch might be able to be like, maybe not her. I don't know. I really don't know who. Maybe I don't see a clear one. Venom thinks Charity is cooked.
Yeah. And like looking at the voting, I'm sorry, the confessional counts, Chrissy has 7, Star has 8, and then Mitch, Charity, and Cedric all have 11. Oh wait, I'm sorry, not Cedric.
Star too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want Star, but I could see Star.
I could see Star because of the edit.
Yeah. But I think that she's now, I don't know that Eva would want to turn on Star this quickly. I think when Eva said, I want to work with her, I think she really meant it.
Yeah, I think she did too.
Right.
They've had a nice story, but not as much airtime. Star hasn't gotten as much of it in a while.
Dakota says maybe Kyle or Charity. That would be really crazy. I feel like that'd be really crazy if it were Kyle.
I don't want it to be Kyle.
I want it to be Kyle.
From that very moment, the very beginning, when he helped finish that challenge that he messed up, I was just like, oh my God, this is the nicest thing that's ever happened. This is so sweet. I'm just 100% behind him now.
Yeah. And in that moment, when Ryan and I were watching that, we both went, what are you doing? Just grab the thing. You know, there are people like Kyle, and then there are people like me. Just grab it. You can just grab it. Reach in.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Oh, I thought I had one other question, but I think it is gone. I think that we're set up for a very interesting merge, and I'm very excited to see how it all goes down, because I really think that there's going to be some chaos, and I think it's going to be a great episode.
We have a lot of strong alliances and a lot of strong storylines, which I feel like we don't usually have this many strong storylines that we're like really pulling for, like Say and Mary, and then like the whole Loggy tribe, the whole Vula tribe, like Kyle, like the inner working. Like there's so many that you want to really work. And even Cedric and Mitch, like that was adorable. Their like talk. I loved it.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna see. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go, Carol.
Like if we're gonna see people having to make compromises about, okay, like we'll vote out, like I'll give you this person, we'll vote them out, but you have to give me this person next time. Like that type of dynamic.
Like negotiating humans.
Yeah. You know, because there are so many close relationships like that where it's like, I'm sure people aren't going to want to turn on their people.
Yeah. I could totally see that. And here's the thing. I think it's going to be very interesting this season, because if you think back to like, when Tim was voted out in 46, he was mainly voted out because he was like, their tribe were so tight. They were so together and they wouldn't give up somebody's name. And I think with this season, and I think this is one of the reasons why swaps are so great, is that there's no tribe that is really fully together. Who was it, Tim or was it Mo? It might've been Mo. Sorry. I think it was Mo. I think so. No, it was Tim. I was right the first time. It was Tim.
I can't picture Tim. I can only picture Mo.
Tim talked about how he pooped. He talked about pooping a lot. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tim. I know that you don't want that to be your legacy, but
it's your legacy now.
I'm sorry.
Blame the edit.
Yeah, blame the edit. But I think that, with these swaps, we now have a little bit more of a messy merge, because we're seeing paths cross in many different ways, and this alliance actually has this people from this tribe and this, and I just think that this is why swaps are so good, because it gives us multiple relationships, multiple dynamics, and that's why the merge is going to be so interesting. And I think it's going to be Hazel said it perfectly, it's going to be juicy. It's going to be juicy.
It's going to be messy.
It's going to be so good.
Well, thank you everybody for sending in those questions. As I always say, the questions are so fun because it takes us down some really, really fun paths. But now it's come to the award season, the award time of the podcast. And we're going to start off with Cara's sweet thing of the episode. All right, Cara, for those who are new, explain what a sweet thing is.
Okay, so my cousin Kateri and I have a podcast called the Sweet Things Podcast, and at the end of each episode, we give our sweet thing of the week, which is usually like candy or dessert or like some snack or drink or whatever that we liked that week. But for Survivor, it's a little different because there's not always food. Sometimes just a moment we liked or just something. So this week, for this one, it is going to be David having his milk and getting that moment. I'm just so happy for him. I was just happy for him because he was so happy in that moment.
He was so happy.
He really was.
Sorry to bring it up again. It was just a good moment for him.
It's okay. I feel like that makes sense. That was a good moment. them, and we got to enjoy some croissants and all of that wonderful stuff.
I was happy for them too.
The whole reward. That looked like a good reward.
Yes, it was such a good reward. I love that we got a reward this episode.
Real. I think I'm gonna go with the obvious. I'm gonna do the obvious. The sweet thing of the episode is Joe and Eva's moment. But specifically him holding her hands like this. It's just such a beautiful image. And I think that will go down in TV history, not just Survivor history, as a very memorable and sweet moment. So boring but beautiful. That's mine.
Definitely.
Christine, what is your sweet thing of the episode?
I'm gonna go Mary saying we still have some fruit left at home. This fruit is so sweet.
Incredible.
Great one.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And and again, I cannot stress this enough. If you do not follow Mary on one of the platforms, I really implore you. I really feel like you should.
I'm going right after this. Gonna go find her.
So unhinged isn't the right word, but it's also not the wrong word. So,
we love an unhinged on social media.
Incredible. Incredible. 10 out of 10 would absolutely recommend.
It's so interesting seeing how much they're interacting on social media this season.
Oh yeah.
Like during the season.
Having a rivalry like theirs and a story arc like theirs. Oh, so fun to interact about that. I can't even imagine.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, congratulations to the sweet thing winners. I know that this is the number one moment that, it's my favorite award because it's always so unhinged and wonderful. Okay. Now the last award we are going to give out is going to be the Social Butterfly Award of the episode. All right. So the Social Butterfly is going to be the player that performed best, we think, this episode socially. I think that there are some pretty big contenders this episode. Either one of you want to take it away? I don't know.
I'm debating.
No, I feel like I could go with Star. Maybe?
Yeah. I could go Camila.
Yeah. That's also a good one.
I think even Cedric.
Maybe?
I don't
know. I think that there was some social play that I didn't love. And I also think that there was some social play that I really loved. And I think I'm going to go with my first original gut instinct, which is Star. Because, I do think that she did that. It came from the right place, but it doesn't hurt her socially. It definitely doesn't hurt her, strategically either. And I really think that she made some moves, and I'm very excited with her prospects. So I'm gonna say Star.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a little starfish, so it's actually perfect.
Nice.
Aww.
I didn't plan that.
I'm gonna switch mine to Kyle because I like that he's in the 4, but I really love how well he's played his whole story with Camila. I think he slayed that, and it didn't bite him in the ass. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. Love Kyle.
It pains me, but I have to give it to Cedric because he was in the center of everything. He's the one Bianca went to tell him that she didn't have a vote. He was in all of the conversations on that tribe, so
you are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Somehow that keeps happening.
It was a Ced wreck.
Yeah.
But also amazing. I mean, he has it, he somehow has played so well every single time.
No, it's that disarmingness. He's real good at disarming.
He really
it's the glasses.
It always comes down to him.
Are real armors. I see it happen when I wear glasses. People all of a sudden want to talk to you and spill stuff. Yep. Wear your glasses, Survivor.
I also think his voice is very soothing. And I've said this a couple times. I really think that he should do a podcast or an audiobook or something. There's just something about his voice that I am entranced with. So I think he's a good social
He needs
one.
to be studied.
Yeah. I want to see more of his thoughts because I wonder if he's just keeps accidentally like falling into these situations, or if he knows like what's happening. Like, is he aware of like what he's doing, or is it just keep happening and he's surprised?
I don't know, because he's clearly smart. He's a doctor. It's not, so I really don't know, and I cannot wait to hear it.
Yeah, he's gotten pretty far. I feel like all the doctors get eliminated pretty quickly on Survivor. So if he makes it past the merge vote, he's gotten real far for doctors.
Far for a doctor. That's so true. That's so true. I think that this was a very interesting episode from so many fronts, and truly one of the best of the new era, one of the best of just Survivor in general. Just all across the board, 10s across the boards for me. 10s across the boards.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, this was so much fun. Thank you so much, Christine, for joining us. I love to end the episode with, where can people find you? Any updates? Anything you want to tell us?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at xteenmay, or I'm on YouTube, Poland Bananas Books. But I'm an author, so you can find my books. I have a Survivor spin-off rom-com book called Attached at the Hip, and other books too. I write rom-coms. I'm on the internet all the time at xteenmay.
Amazing. Yeah, and her book, cannot recommend enough. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Thank you.
It is the perfect thing for somebody who loves Survivor and also who likes a little romance. It's a really good perfect crossroads. It's really great. And again, it's so much fun to have you on the show. It's just you're a blast to talk Survivor with.
Thank you. I love talking Survivor with you guys. This is so fun.
Cara, where can people find you?
Instagram, XOX_Cara, Sweet Things Podcast, Survivor Now Podcast.
Survivor Now Podcast. And again, thank you so much for everybody who was watching, commenting, chatting, all of the wonderful things. We have a great lineup here at Survivor Now. So we're the last one of episode 5, but episode 6 is right around the corner on Wednesday. We've got, the pre-show, the post-show, and all of our wonderful shows after that. So please keep an eye out. If you want to learn more, go to Instagram at Survivor Now pod, I think it is. And you can follow us for all of the wonderful updates. And again, this was so much fun. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay social. We will see you next week.